Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Sagar Sundur and in this video I'll be specifically talking about the concept of money. As you all know, money is needed in our day-to-day lives. It's needed for our comfort, for our food, for travel and for many other activities. But surprisingly, we hardly talk about money with anybody in our day-to-day lives. And this is a serious problem in a country like India. To help you understand better, about 40% of the married couple don't know about their partner's income. 53% of the students go into depression because of their student loans. About 4% of the people with credit card debt commit suicide. Around 7% of the farmers commit suicide every single year, and the reason is none other than the money debt itself. After a lot of research, after a lot of case studies, it has been found out that this particular money issues are more psychological than you think. And the most brutal part, we don't even talk about these issues with anybody in our day-to-day lives. Now this creates a lot of mental pressure, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, which is a very bad thing for our personal health. Now we might be thinking that this particular not talking about money may have just come from our parents or from our grandparents. But no, this particular money taboo concept has been coming from the British society, where the attitude towards the money was based on color, race and origin. Now let's go to the time before independence, before the British and the Mughals invaded our country. At that time, we have all heard the stories of how India was such a glorious and a wealthy country. We have all seen in movies and heard about it in stories. This clears one thing, that having money was never the part of the problem. So the question arises to actually what happened? How does this wealthy country not talk about money at all? Now let's go to the time after independence. Finally, when the British left our country and we were finally independent. So at this time, India was facing poverty. Now the real concern for a common man was to bring in a good source of income. On the other hand, we see how the politicians who were to actually direct our country's growth were actually manipulating the system by their corrupt and dirty schemes, by which only a certain people in our country got rich. As the time went by, the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. Now coming to 1990s, we see the results, how a common man was completely broken. That particular common man was completely dependent on the system, which was broken from inside. Now any money talk he would actually make, like it can be like getting his kids into a good school, or the place where he lived, or the mode of transport that he had, would be all based on a judgment. He would always be surrounded by a judgment around him. Now with all of this awareness and with all of this judgment, this confused person will eventually make those decisions which may or may not be financially correct. Now in all of this, the major problem was the financial literacy. The common man was never educated about finance, and our schools were not even helping with teaching us about financial education. Now this slowed down our country's progress in 1990s. Now coming to the 21st century, in last just couple of years, we have seen our country's boom. We have seen in the rise of financial education, where a lot of people, in social media, the discussions are all about finance itself. We have seen in the rise of financial influencers who teach us about money management and financial lessons and about personal finances. Now we are all aware of the topic of what is an equity, what is sovereign gold bonds, what is an FD, and all of those finance related terms. But with all of this discussion happening around, we still don't talk about these money issues with anybody around us. Now I'll be discussing about the three major money taboo topics that are being discussed highly in our country. First one, debt is bad. We have all been heard that getting into debt is a very bad thing. Once you're into it, you can never come back. But question yourself this one thing, how do big businesses work? How do wealthy people make business acquisitions? How do they work? They all do it using debt. Getting into debt is not a bad thing, but using the debt, how you use the debt matters the most. Second one, keeping your finances in private. We have all been taught like you should always never showcase your income. You should not speak about your income with anybody else. We consider this as a taboo topic. Let me dig deeper and classify into three sections. First is the rich, the second is the middle class, and third is the poor. First one, why do rich people hide about their money? The rich usually hide about their money due to privacy concerns. But why do middle class people hide about their money? They hide it because of these rituals or these traditions to never speak about this, which are nowhere written, but they want to continue that. Lastly, why do poor need to hide about money? They hide about their money because of their shame, because of their status in the society, and because of their previous investments or the expenditures that they want to hide it. Alright, so now moving on to the third topic, leaving your kids with inheritance. We have commonly seen this, that all the parents work harder and harder to leave their kids with some kind of an asset, some kind of a real estate, or some kind of an inheritance. But ask yourself this one question: does giving just money to your kids is enough? Or like giving all of that inheritance is enough? The real question is, like, many people and many parents don't educate their children about these particular assets or just money. Now think about it, just you're leaving kids with their money. What would that kid do? He would just expend it. He would just buy something like a car or a mansion or something like that. He would never use it for himself. He would never differentiate between an asset and a liability. Now that is also a major concern. So better the parents would educate their kids about money, teach them value about money, and teach their kids about value of investing in things or creating a business. That would help a lot. Now lastly, we have come to the final part. How does one start this money talk? How does anyone talk about money with anybody? First step, start small. Now with all of this discussion, I do not mean that you have to actually go out and reveal all of your income or everything about money with anybody. But you have to just start small. Start small by like talking about small amounts of money with the people you trust. With this will help you reduce your mental stress and mental anxiety and everything. And with this, you will help people around you. You will be talking more about investment, more about how to build a big business, or how to invest, or what is an income tax, and all of these finance related topics. Second step, enlightening people around you. Now we live in an age of AI and internet, but we hardly try to educate ourselves. We are always dependent on those AI like ChatGPT or Bard. Now with all of this information being easily accessible, we hardly don't even try to read it. Now this step you can do is by reading all of this information or studying and understanding about these topics and helping each other for the people who don't even understand these topics. This will help you to grow your circle much better. Third step, the negotiation skill. Now in 21st century, in last couple of years after COVID, we have seen all of the big businesses going online. Now with all of this, there is less of human interaction. It can be examples like buying vegetables or buying groceries or buying your favorite food through Swiggy and Zomato. We hardly negotiate with anybody in our day-to-day lives. And this is a major concern. And why do people not negotiate more? Because negotiation is usually related with money. And people usually don't want to talk about money with anybody because they consider it like a taboo topic. We don't even negotiate. Now this creates a major problem because with the help of this particular negotiation skill, we can get those major opportunities in those big careers, big companies which everyone aspire about, or the dream salary that you have been waiting for, or the best possible opportunity that you have been waiting for. This will be achieved through the small skill, which is negotiation. If you just practice this on a daily basis, this will help you for your better future and better opportunity. The money talk had to be started at some point. By following these above steps, it will help you to get started. And by doing this, you will be solving more deeper issues at hand. I hope you found this video helpful and informational. So if yes, you do, please press that like button and hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next video.